In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to connect Retell to N8N. By the end, you'll have a clean, reliable way to call Retell from an N8N workflow using a single request node. I'll keep things clear and practical, so you can follow along even if you're new to N8N. First, open your N8N instance in your browser and sign in. Give yourself a moment to confirm you're in the right workspace, especially if your organization uses multiple projects. This ensures anything you create lands where your team expects it. Once you're in, create a new workflow. You can name it something descriptive, like Retell Integration, so it's easy to spot later. A clear name helps teammates understand the workflow's purpose at a glance and avoids confusion as your automation library grows. With your empty canvas ready, open the Nodes panel and search for the HTTP request node. In some interfaces, you might see it referred to as an HTML or HTTP request. You're looking for the node that sends web requests to external services. Drag it onto the canvas and place it under the Start node. This will be the single point where your workflow talks to Retell. Now, configure the node. Set the HTTP method to what Retell expects for the endpoint you're using, most commonly POST for creating or triggering actions, or GET for fetching data. Paste the full Retell API endpoint URL into the URL field. If Retell requires authentication, add the appropriate authorization, such as a bearer token, using the node's authentication or headers section. When possible, store secrets in N8N credentials rather than typing them directly into fields. That keeps sensitive data out of your workflow, JSON, and lets you rotate keys without editing nodes. If the endpoint takes parameters, add them as query strings for GET requests or as a JSON body for POST. Switch the body content type to JSON and format your payload clearly, matching Retell's API documentation. Consistent field names and proper casing will prevent most validation errors. Before you save, use the node's test feature to send a sample request. Check the response status code and body to confirm everything is wired correctly. If you see an error, review the URL, method, headers, and body format. Small typos in endpoints or missing headers are the most common culprits. When the test looks good, click Save on the node and then save the workflow. That's it. Your N8N workflow is now connected to Retell through a straightforward HTTP request, ready to use in broader automations or to run on demand.